G'day and welcome back to the channel, Headlight Restoration Perth. Today we are going to be looking at a 2014 Mini Cooper S. These lights have the best access. Like I had no idea that because I've never worked on one before, and I've always seen them, but I've never really paid any attention to where the bonnet and everything starts and finishes, etc. So it's got a special double action lever when you pull the bonnet. So when you release and then you release it again, and then when you lift the bonnet, the complete headlight surrounds, everything are a part of the bonnet. So when you lift the bonnet up, it just shows bare headlights. So no taping, no worrying about scratching paint, nothing like that. So and because this is the first time I've actually worked on one, I was just sort of like thinking, awesome, best headlights ever. So yeah, I was really pleased with that. The car had a bit of detailing done, so the engine bay and everything was really clean. So I have that mat that you see there, the little blanket. It's like a picnic blanket with a nylon backing. It's probably 3 to 4 feet by 4 to 5 feet, and it just folds up in itself. But it seems to be the perfect size little picnic blanket for this purpose, because most engine bays are around that 3 to 4 feet, 3 by 4 sort of thing. Some are a touch bigger, a touch smaller, but that blanket it fits really nicely within the engine bay of the cars that I have used it on perfectly. So if you might use plastic or paper or whatever it is that you may use, maybe look at getting a picnic blanket, because they do fold up on themselves, usually have Velcro, so they're really easy to pack away and everything, and reusable. So a little tip there, the one I've got, I've used it a few times now, but the sizing is perfect for engine bays. And you don't need it on every engine bay, because not every engine bay's looked after. A lot of them are pretty dusty and oily and things like that. But on the ones where that the vehicle has been taken care of and might have been in the higher range of the price for the vehicle, it's definitely worth that effort, because from the plastic dust and everything, even from the breeze, if you don't have to worry about cleaning the engine bay or any edges and all that, because the blanket looks after the whole lot. So yeah, if you don't have anything to look after an engine bay, definitely think about getting something, even if it is sheets of plastic or whatever. But definitely worth it for the ones that have been maintained nicely and no dust gets on it. So anyway, so yeah, these headlights, I was really happy to see that when you lift the bonnet, the whole lot just comes out, and all you are left with, as you can see, is that bare headlight. So you can get right along the edges. You don't have to worry about anything, so you can just go hammer and tong with the drill. You don't have to sometimes worry about that hand sanding and all that when you're doing edges, as I do, because I'm I am confident with the drill, but you can't say that nothing's never going to happen. So I do always err on the side of caution, and I do like the hand sanding a little bit on the edges. But with this, it's just drill all the way and without any concern. And I did a Range Rover previously, which is another British built car, and again, the headlight wasn't terrible. The clear was a little bit more stubborn on this. It didn't come off as easy, but and it did go through just a couple of the initial pads to get to that the lens going through the clear. So yeah, but nice big surface. Even so it is rounded, it's still reasonably flat. There's no curves or bumps or anything like that. It's just a really nice flat curved surface, you know. So yeah, if you ever get to work on, you'll definitely appreciate the fact that you can just lift the bonnet and the access is 100% without wasting any other products. So but with this, like I did use the 400, the 600 and the 800 grit before going to the Trizac pad. The clear, I'm not sure if it had been done previously or not, but the clear was a lot more difficult to come off than the previous British built vehicle. So I'm not sure if that's a manufacturing thing or if the other one I just got lucky and how it just come off really easily. But still, the outcomes are exactly as you wish they're going to be when you're doing this one. So the process of the 400, like I did use a few discs, you know, rather than eat through the 6 and 800s. Like I think that when you have that difficulty, you want to stay on that first pad grip until you're happy to move up to the next one, because you know, the 600 I would have had to use twice as many rather than just the single one that I did. So I'd rather use a few more of the 400s than a few more 600s and 800s to get that same result. So I did find that they were pretty even. Like I was looking to start on the worst side, but you know, one wasn't any better than the other, to be honest. This was done at a car yard. Like I'm not sure if anyone else who does this, if they look after car yards or if it's just a private thing, customer that they get. But I just rang this car yard originally, and they'd only just moved, downsized, and you know, so it was just really good timing that I was able to get in with the car yard. So they purchase their vehicles once a week, and then if there's any vehicles that need doing from that, they'll let me know. So some weeks I might get 1 or 2, and some I might get none. But you know, you might sometimes get 3 or 4. It really depends on the vehicles that because they win them through auction, so they don't always know what they're going to get until late in the afternoon of the day they auction, and then they'll let me know the next day. So usually by midweek I know how many I'm doing with them. So if you do get a car yard, you know, if you do talk to car yard, should I say, see how they purchase their vehicle, see if they have a particular day where they do purchases and all that, because you know, you could offset it if you get a couple of car yards and you could stay busy all week really. But this is a really good filler for when you haven't got your general customers. So as you can see there, I've just finished with that 800 grit. I've then gone to the wet and dry, the 3000 Trizac, the pad, which is basically a sanding, polishing pad. You know, so just dry it off to get the evaporation going before I apply any polish. And with the polish, like I have been exercising a longer application process. You know, I used to just dab it on and then start buffing it off. But now I feel that because you're really drying out that lens out by sanding and things like that, I really spend a lot more time applying the polish through that dabbing process. You know, I usually give it as much time as I have to for it to start penetrating, and then when it starts penetrating, you know that the actual buffing process is going to be a little easier to do. So have a go yourself. You know, when you're applying the polish like this, maybe just keep going for an extra minute or two to see how the polish starts absorbing into the lens, because you can see it now how it's starting to really penetrate, and it's coming up really nicely even before you start buffing. You know, so once you got to that point, that's when I start buffing now. So I've done this with a few and it seemed to have had that effect. So I'm going to continue doing that and until I come across a lens that it doesn't actually work for. So, but yeah, I do like that extra dabbing process because it really does expedite the buffing, and so you don't really give it a lot of heat for it to rehaze or anything like that, but enough heat for it to clear. So yeah, try it. Let me know how that sort of process works for you, if it does or if it doesn't. But then you know, I always like to wipe off any excess, and sometimes even when I'm doing it, I'll even use the air gun, just to blow away any extra dust that it might have created, just so you got that really nice cover, that clear lens. So when you apply the clear coat, you don't have to worry about any excessive dust and all that. But yeah, so I do go over it until I know that there's no dust and things like that. So, and then you look at the clear. So I've got that Maguire's, you know, so a nice coat around the edges, and then across, and then I go the opposite direction just to get that nice full coverage, and then you know, that's done. So you look at that, nice, really good finish. Look at that, you don't have to worry about any edging in that, and there's the blanket that looks after both sides. So yeah, have a great day.